It seems like there's always something that needs to be done around the house.
Faucets start leaking, light switches stop working, walls crack, and weather stripping wears out.
Hiring someone to take care of problems like these can be expensive, especially when it's possible to do many of the jobs yourself.
That's where Everyday Home Repairs can help. We'll show you how to do more than 100 common household repairs, and we'll give you money-saving advice on how to keep your house in good shape.
We've divided the repairs into 6 main sections: plumbing, electrical, windows and doors, walls and ceilings, floors, and exterior home repairs.
Before beginning, you should check with your local building department to find out about building permits, codes, and other laws that might apply to your projects.
The detailed step-by-step photos, audio, and animations will show you what you need to do. And then, when you're ready to do the job, you can print out detailed instructions to take with you to the work site.
Okay, it's time for you to get started. Good luck with your everyday home repairs. Do your doors and windows stick when you try to open them? This section of Everyday Home Repairs shows you how to unlock the problem of sticky doors and windows. You'll also find out how to install weather stripping, replace broken glass and worn-out screens, and keep your locks and latches working smoothly. 80% of all problems with windows and doors are caused by a lack of lubrication. That's why a lot of the step-by-step jobs shown here deal with the right way to clean and lubricate different types of doors and windows. It's a good idea to have cleaning materials, a screwdriver, a hammer, a utility knife, and a putty knife on hand for the repairs shown in this section. After you have the tools and materials you need, just follow the step-by-step repair instructions. It's easier than you think to get your windows and doors back on track. Have you been putting off fixing a broken lamp or replacing a light fixture because you thought it would be too hard? You may be surprised to learn how easy it really is to do these types of repairs. In this section of Everyday Home Repairs, you'll learn how to do common electrical projects like fixing lamps and replacing wall switches, plugs, receptacles, and light fixtures. The repair screens will show you the specific tools and materials you'll need for each job. But in general, you'll need a screwdriver, a combination tool, a circuit tester, and a continuity tester. Working on electrical repairs is perfectly safe as long as you shut off the power to the wires you're working with or unplug the item you're trying to fix. You can find out how to turn off the electricity by choosing Shut Off Electricity on your screen. It's also a good idea to check out the Safety Tips section before you start. After you've learned about safety, just gather up the tools and replacement parts you need and get started.
There are a lot of good reasons to take care of the outside of your house. Saving money is at the top of the list. Leaks in your roof or rain gutters can cause expensive damage to your ceilings, furniture, and basement. And open cracks in the outside walls lead to an expensive loss of heated or cooled air. That's why it's a good idea to regularly check the outside of your home for signs of trouble. A good way to do that is by using binoculars to look at your roof and gutters from the ground. If you see things like curled or broken shingles, rusted rain gutters, or cracks around your foundation, it's time to take action. In this section of Everyday Home Repairs, we'll show you how to take good care of your roof and fix it if it's leaky. You'll also find out how to clean and repair your downspouts and gutters, repair and seal concrete and asphalt, and fix different types of cracks and holes. You'll have to use a ladder when you're working on your roof or rain gutters, so make sure you wear soft-soled shoes and follow the safety advice under ladder tips and techniques. Now you're ready to save yourself some money. Of all the things in your home, floors are subjected to some of the worst wear and tear. In this section, we'll show you how to take the necessary steps to protect and repair them. You'll find out how to repair carpet and hardwood floors, fix damaged vinyl flooring, and put an end to squeaky floors and stairs. If you have remnants from the original installation of your flooring, you already have some important materials for repairing small areas of damaged vinyl or carpeting. If you don't have remnants, don't worry. Just take patching materials from an inconspicuous area, like a carpeted closet or the tiled area behind a kitchen appliance. And one more thing, you don't have to buy floor tools like knee kickers, edge trimmers, and seam irons. You can find these tools at rental stores. As you're about to see, floor repairs are relatively simple to do. This section should give you the confidence you need to get the job done.
Buying materials can sometimes be confusing.
With so many different products on the store shelves, with a variety of prices, it's hard to know what to choose.
A good rule of thumb is to buy brand names whenever you can, especially for specialty materials.
Saving a little money when you're buying materials won't save you anything if they don't perform well.
Quality materials are easier to work with and will help you create a better finished project.
Before using any product, be sure to read the manufacturer's directions and any warning labels.
You should also pay attention to any instructions for disposing of leftover materials when you're done with your project.
And one last piece of advice, be sure to print out a list of the tools and materials you need before you go to the store.
That way you won't forget anything.
If you have a dripping faucet or a running toilet that's driving you crazy, you've come to the right place. The step-by-step information in this section of Everyday Home Repairs will help you fix the problem. You'll find out how to repair faucets and toilets, fix sinks and tub stoppers, and open clogged drains. You'll also get some valuable plumbing and maintenance tips along the way. Almost all plumbing repairs involve leaks or clogs. Leaks happen when the pressure from the water system wears down parts in your pipes, joints, and fixtures. And clogs form when there isn't enough pressure in the drain system. Whatever problem you're trying to repair, be sure to follow the first rule of successful plumbing. Shut off the water supply and drain the pipes before you start. If you're not sure how to do that, click Shut Off Water on your screen. And remember not to turn plumbing valves too hard. Over-tightening can actually cause the leaks you're trying to avoid.
If your toilet runs, it could be a problem with either your ball cock, float device, or tank ball. You'll find out how to repair all three of these in this section. To find out what's wrong with your toilet, remove the tank lid and look inside the water closet. If the water is running into the overflow tube, then adjust the float device. If the water continues to run after that adjustment, then repair the ball cock. To find out what type of ball cock you have, watch the animation available on this screen. If the water doesn't run over the lip to the overflow tube, then repair the tank ball or flapper.
There are a lot of things to think about when you're buying tools.
But the most important thing to keep in mind is that, as with most things, you get what you pay for.
Cheap tools can break quickly and don't work as well as higher quality tools.
That's why it's a good idea to shop around for the highest quality tool you can afford.
Once you bring your tools home, you can make them last longer by taking care of them properly.
Keep cutting edges sharp, striking surfaces smooth, and all metal surfaces clean. It's also a good idea to remove any signs of rust as soon as possible.
To make sure you stay in good shape when using tools, follow the manufacturer's instructions on tool usage and safety.
This protects you and your project. Using tools to do things they weren't intended for will produce sloppy work and could damage what you're working on.
And one more note about safety. If you're using cutting or striking tools, always wear eye protection. Eyeglasses won't protect you unless they have safety lenses.
Buying quality tools, using them correctly, and following safety precautions will help make your repair projects go more smoothly.
And save you money in the long run.
If your walls don't look as good as this one, it's time to do something about it. In this section, we'll show you how to patch holes in your walls, fix damaged wallpaper, regrout ceramic tiles, and hang things like mirrors, drapes, and plants. Repairing damaged wallboard is fairly simple because you can remove and replace damaged sections. But before you start to fix cracks or holes in a plaster wall or ceiling, be sure to check its overall condition. If the whole surface feels spongy or if the bulges or cracks are extensive, this could indicate more serious problems. In that case, it's a good idea to hire a professional to inspect the wall and make any needed repairs.
Your toilet could have one of three types of ball cocks. A plunger valve ball cock looks like this. It has two wing nuts that hold the plunger in place. A diaphragm ball cock has a round bonnet with a float arm on top. If your toilet has a float cup, it will have a float cup assembly for a ball cock. Drain traps hold water that seals the drain line and prevents sewer gases from entering your home. Each time you use a drain, the standing trap water is flushed away and replaced.
Each electrical circuit has a hot wire that's usually colored black. This hot wire moves electricity outward from the main service panel. Then a neutral wire that is usually white carries the current back to the source. The pressure of the current in hot wires is called voltage. The current carrying capacity of wires is called amperage.
When you're trying to hang objects on walls, you'll have to take a few things into consideration. If you're hanging a light or medium weight object, it's okay to put it between studs and wallboard or plaster. But if you're hanging a heavy object, you'll want to put it on a stud or a joist. And since plaster is a brittle surface, always drill pilot holes and use screw-type fasteners whenever possible. Cartridge faucets are washerless and use cartridge inserts that contain all mechanical parts. The handle screw is often hidden under an index cap or recessed in a hole near the base of the handle. A disc-type cartridge faucet has a self-contained cartridge unit that's held by mounting screws. A sleeve-type cartridge faucet has a lever that turns the water on and off. Inside, there's a cartridge that's held in place with a retaining clip. Under the spout, you'll find O-rings that may need replacing. Ball-type faucets have a rounded collar on a single lever handle. Underneath the collar, you'll find a dome-shaped cap. Inside, a hollow metal or plastic ball controls the water volume and temperature. Compression faucets have double-handle fixtures. Many of the fixtures have neoprene washers that compress against a valve seat. In a typical light fixture, a black hot wire is connected to a brass screw terminal on the socket. The power flows to a tab at the bottom of the socket and then through the filament in the bulb, causing it to glow. The current then flows through the socket to the white neutral wire and back to the main service panel. The hot wire from the electrical box is connected to the hot wire of the fixture with a wire nut. The same is true for the neutral wire. Floors can squeak for several reasons. The wooden floorboards or structural beams may be rubbing against each other. Or water pipes or air ducts may be rubbing against the joists. Floorboards may also squeak if they haven't been properly nailed to the subfloor. Toggle bolts are used to hang heavy loads between studs or joists. The spring-loaded wings on the toggle bolt collapse to fit through a drilled hole. Then, as you tighten the bolt, the wings spring open to brace against the wall or ceiling.
Problems with doors can take several forms. If you can't get your door to open and shut correctly, start by checking out the locks and latches section. That's where you'll find out how to lubricate lock sets and align latch bolts and strike plates. If you're still having problems, try following the steps for tightening hinges. You may also have to straighten your door if it's warped or Here's how a lock set works. When you turn a doorknob or door handle, it moves a spindle. The spindle then moves a latch bolt in or out of a strike plate that's set into the door frame. Attach the nozzle to a garden hose and insert it into the drain. When you turn the water on, the nozzle expands to fill the drain pipe. Then it releases water in high-pressure spurts to clear the clog.
Plaster construction is applied in layers. Behind the plaster, you'll find a layer of wood, metal, or rock lath which holds the plaster in place. Keys hold the dried plaster to walls and ceilings. The keys are formed when the base plaster is squeezed through the lath. Plaster is a brittle surface, so always drill pilot holes and use screw-type fasteners to hang objects on it.
When replacing a receptacle, pay attention to how the wires are connected so that you can reconnect them the same way on the new receptacle. The black hot wire is attached to a brass screw terminal. The white neutral wire is connected to a silver screw terminal. In metal receptacle boxes, the grounding wire is pigtailed to the grounding screws of the receptacle and the box. Most roof wear is caused by years of exposure to the elements. Exposure can cause your shingles to curl or crack. That can lead to roof leaks. Keep in mind that water can enter the attic and travel far down a rafter before dropping off onto the ceiling below. Sash cords are attached to the two sides of a lower window sash. Each cord runs up to the top of the window and over a pulley. The cord then goes down inside the window frame where it's attached to a weight. When you raise the lower window, the weight acts as a counterbalance and keeps the window from falling.
A cable entering the box has a white wire, a black wire, and a copper grounding wire. The white and black wires are both hot. They are attached to the two screw terminals on the switch. If the switch...
When you push the handle, a trip lever raises the tank ball or flapper at the bottom of the tank. Water from the tank rushes down into the toilet bowl. A float ball or float cup opens the ball cock to let in fresh water. When the tank is empty, the tank ball or flapper falls back into place to seal the tank. Incoming water from the ball cock refills the tank, while the refill tube sends a stream of fresh water down the overflow tube to fill up the toilet bowl. When the water in the tank reaches capacity, the float rod on the float ball pivots to close the ball cock.
Attach the trap arm to the drain pipe using a slip washer and slip nut. Then attach the long end of the drain trap to the tailpiece using a slip nut and washer. Line up the trap arm with the trap bend and join them together with a slip nut. Wallboard construction or drywall uses gypsum panels that are nailed or screwed directly onto frames. The studs or joists behind a wallboard surface are usually 16 or 24 inches apart.
Put a matching piece of wallpaper over the damaged area. Line it up with a pattern and fasten it with removable tape. Use the utility knife to cut through both the patch layer and damaged layer of wallpaper. Remove the patch material, then put water on the damaged area. Peel the damaged section away from the wall. Put adhesive on the back of the patch and put it in place. Then wipe it clean with a wet sponge. Ceramic tile walls are put together with a lot of careful measuring to make sure the tiles are lined up correctly. Some walls are covered using individual tiles, and some are covered with sheets of self-spacing edge tiles. A substance such as dry-set mortar holds the tiles to the wall, and a layer of grout fills in the spaces between the tiles and protects them from water. Water damage will destroy the tile base.
To strip wire using a combination tool, choose the opening that matches the gauge of the wire. Press the jaws together, then push the tool sideways to strip off the insulation. Take care not to nick or scratch the ends of the wires.